It's that time. Hello, butterflies. Hey, family. As you see, I am toning it down some. Okay, just taking a little break from these serious cases when it comes to the missing and crime. Even though it's my passion, um, I want to take a little break. Okay, and I want to just focus on many of you. Okay. Now, with that being said, this is a labor of love. If you know, I do readings as far as, people comes to me, and they're seeking clarity in their life, okay? And so, to many of you who have come to me, okay, and you have acquired of my readings, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for trusting me to do these readings for you. I really do appreciate it, as well as it makes my heart so warm when I receive the wonderful positive feedbacks that many of you give me. Okay, it really makes me want to just keep pushing. I know this is my purpose. All right, to be a light and to be of service to my brothers and sisters. So with that being said, this is a freebie. Okay, so um, I want many of you to think of a number from 1 to 3. That's right. Think of a number from 1 to 3. Now, if you're someone, when it comes to your intuition, if your spiritual muscle is not that strong, just know that your higher self and your spiritual team is still working with you. Okay? You're just not operating in awareness to be in that place of knowing. Okay? 100. What you can do, many of you, you can hold this dice in your hand, close your eyes, set your attention, and the number it lands on, it must land on a 1 or 2 or 3. That's the that's the number you go with, okay? It's divine. That's the number that you go with. Now, if you don't have a dice, listen to that still voice. If it says 1, go with 1. If you feel like, I'm not hearing anything, what you can do, if you have one, you can use your pendulum, okay? If you know how to use it, okay, you can use your pendulum to give you a sign for yes and to give you a sign for no. And you can also figure out, should I choose for my highest good? For my highest good. Always set your intentions for my highest good. Even using the dice, okay? Even when you're saying it to yourself, which number should I choose? Set your intentions. I'm seeking clarity in my life and confirmation. What number should I choose from 1 to 3? Always set your intentions first, okay? As I stated, you can use a crystal pendulum, but first get an idea what yes look like and what no look like. You can use a dice, but roll it in your hands for a little bit and close your eyes and just let it go. But it must land on a 1 or 2 or 3. Or you can sit there and be still, and whatever number you hear, inside of you, not outside of you, inside of you, and it feels right to you, go with it. It's about trusting your instinct, okay? You must trust it and to know that, your divine does within you, has your best intentions, okay? It wants what's good for you, okay? It wants you to win, okay? But we must listen to the intuition. Now, that being said, I'm not gonna be doing no, oh, pick this color, oh, pick this crystal. We're not doing that. I want many of you to operate your own knowingness, okay? And there are all kind of ways of doing it. I want you to exercise the spiritual muscle that we all have, okay? So, with that being said, go ahead, do the work, and come back here. I'm going to have timestamps when it comes to, pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And just go to that pile, okay, that you were led to by the Spirit, okay? It has a message for you. And this reading right here, I would pretty much call this one um, Divine Message 3 weeks from today. That means it's resonating with you in the now, and a lot of it, okay, is going to unfold, shall I say, within the coming days and weeks ahead. Okay, but at least you have the heads up already. So you can't say you didn't know. All right, let's have some fun. If you like my video and definitely what's resonating to you, give your sister that thumbs up, okay, so it can push the uh, algorithm out there and it can help other brothers and sisters, all right? And just notice I didn't ask you for a dime, only for the, how do they say, pass the torch, pass the love, okay? Sharing is caring. Let's get started. Pick a number from 1 to 3. All right, pal number 1, I'm ready for you, love. Your sister is ready for you. May you receive this message with love. And when it hits you, the certain messages that you are hearing, okay, please take heed to it because the God of the universe already knew that you was going to watch me today or this evening, shall I say, or tonight. It just depends on, you know, when you happen to watch me. But there are no coincidence. Have an open ear and let's give this message. Your divine message, pile number 1. 3 weeks from today. A lot that you're going to resonate with in the now. And that what you don't resonate with, keep it in mind, okay? Keep it in mind because the days have to, okay? Let the days and weeks go by. Eventually, you're going to start seeing a lot of this. And please, if you don't mind, I appreciate it. Please get back with your sister down below, okay? Connect with me down below and let me know that this has resonated with you. Even if you take a week or two, get back with your sister. I appreciate it. So this is yours, pile number 1. This is my Awakened Butterfly Revealing Oracle. So I have 3 of these. This right here, I have 3 of these. This is the Psychic Oracle deck. So I'm using 3 of these, okay? I've already shuffled them. And this right here is, I have 3 of these. This right here is the Rainbow Oracle. I have 3 of these. And lastly, we all have those shadow aspects of us, okay? Many of these shadow aspects, many of you are still, let me just say, putting a band-aid on, okay? For whatever reason, you know, you don't want to face your fears or your demons or your issues, okay? And this is a non-judging zone. Let me just say that. Or many of these right here, many of you have overcome and gotten past, okay? So let's get with it. Notice if I said many of them, it should be definitely some of these, many of you are definitely going to relate to when it comes to the shadow cards, or it might be all of them. Let's get with it. And this message is not in divine order. The first card, the need for closure, desire answers to make a decision. So many of you who are watching me, and this is a collective reading, has a decision to make. It can be personal or it can be business related. I'm sensing more than anything is personal, okay? I don't know if it's due to a breakup, whatever the case may be. But it has here the need for closure, desire answers to make a decision. So many of you have a decision to make, okay? Next, the need to say what you mean, feeling vulnerable, okay? So many of you, you are talking, okay? You are communicating, you are exercising your voice, but, you know, you're not being true to thyself, okay? You're not saying what you mean and mean what you say, if you know what I mean, okay? Many of you doing a whole lot of talking, but your action is not lining up for whatever reason. Many of you are feeling very vulnerable right now, okay? The Spirit says the need to say what you mean, okay? Because you're feeling very vulnerable right now. And only many of you would know what this means for you. Don't worry about hurting nobody's feelings. Okay? Speak your mind, speak your truth. Next, the head disruption, power struggle, and conflict. Now, if many of you live with somebody, okay, whether it's a roommate, whether it's a parent, whether it's a lover, okay, whether it's a male or female, okay, a lover or a friend, the head would be the person that you live with, okay. For the most part, I would think about the head being a parent, or the male, okay, the alpha, in the relationship. But anyway, when it comes to this right here, the head disruption, hold on, because I'm seeking clarity about something, okay? Hold on. Because this is a collective reading, so give me a minute. Okay, see, this is a collective reading. So I'm going to say it like this, family, okay? Many of you, okay, are the head. And you are experiencing conflict, okay? It can be personal, it can be business, okay? Because sometimes, you're not getting along with those that you work with. But for the most part, I'm sensing more than anything is to be personal. Okay, many of you are dealing with the power struggle and conflict, and it's speaking from the head. The head would be you. Okay, the head would be you. If I did more of a personal reading, I can break it down whether it's you or like as I stated earlier, it would be the person that you live with. But many of you know your situation, okay? You know your situation. You know whether this is talking about you or the head of the household, okay? That's causing the conflict, okay? That's caused the disruption, okay? In your world, in your reality, within your home. And the disruption would be whoever this individual is, they are disturbing your peace due to their actions or what's coming out of their mouth. Okay, they are disturbing your peace. It can be due to, also when it comes to give and take, they're taking more. Okay, that energy is not balanced. All right. But as I stated, this is a collective reading, so this could be many of you, okay? That could be the head of your life. And due to your actions, how you're moving out here, okay, or the words that's coming out of your mouth, you could be causing disruption to yourself, family, all right? Or by this being a collective reading, it could be someone that you live with. That's the head. And I already explained what that could mean, okay? It can be the head of the household, that's causing disruption in your life, okay? Your peace of mind, okay? Or your money could be funny, shall I say. It just depends on who the spirit is talking about. But you did choose pile number one, so this could be many of you, okay? So watch your spending, watch, you know, um, your thoughts, because our thoughts, um, from our thoughts, our actions, okay? Just watch how you're moving out here, family, okay? Because it looks like many of you are dealing with conflict, but it's pretty much due to your own doing, okay? But you know your personal situation too. It's either you or it's the individual in your living space, okay? As I stated, the parent or that, you know, um, spouse, all right? The alpha male. But basically, the one that's pretty much running the show at home, that's the head, okay? Let me just say it like that. And if it's you, I'm talking to you. And I say that with love. All right, let's start on the next one. Pile number one. This is the first card. This is prosperity begins. Now, as you see, this is someone who's put a seed in the ground. It's pretty much what this seed means to you. Okay, whatever the seed means to you, it could be hard work. Okay, you been working hard and now you're ready to reap what you have sown. Okay, it has a prosperity to begin. So many of you are going to be coming to some money, honey. Okay, many of you probably have already came to some money. This might just be confirmation, what you already know. I don't know if it's just due to, increase, on a job, a raise, a promotion, inheritance. It just depends on what this means to you. Hell, maybe once a lottery or something. But anyway, it has here prosperity begins. And maybe it's just a hard work. Maybe it's a project that you worked hard on and, you're reaping the rewards from it. And then who knows, with this seed, many of you might be expecting. Hello, somebody. Just saying. But anyway, prosperity begins. So congratulations. If you're not seeing this now, you will be. It's just letting you know that your money is going to start, looking a whole lot better, okay? It's going to start to increase. So be on the lookout. Next, I have the sacral chakra card. It represents I want. Okay? This is the vibration that many of you are giving off. I want. It's something that you want. Okay? Who knows? Maybe it's money that you want. You're still waiting on it. It's coming, love. Have faith and be patient. It's coming. So many of you are giving off the vibration I want. And that's a good thing. Always speak those positive affirmations every day. And so shall it be unto you. Next, new beginnings. Now, power number one, for many of you, I'm so proud of you. You're finally getting off that merry-go-round of stagnation. Many of you have been dealing with a mental conflict, and that's the inability to get over something or someone. Many of you have really been going in circles, but many of you are coming out of it. Okay, if you're not experiencing it now, you will be. Many of you are finally getting to that point of moving forward. Okay? You're taking your power back and you're moving forward. Many of you are not looking back whatsoever. This is new beginnings. Okay, so this is pretty much what this means to you. A new job, new relationship, or just moving forward and not looking back. Because many of you have been held hostage due to the past, due to whatever it is that had you mentally stuck. So congratulations, new beginnings. Many of you are on top of the world, okay? You're not looking back, you're moving forward. Wow, power number one. I love it. Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. This is mind shift, and it's upward. Struggle dances to the tune of the mind. Ease flow with the tune of the heart. I like that. I like that. Mind shift. And I'm going to read up on each one, so don't worry. Next is upside down. This is universal child. Within the eyes of a child, there's a universe where innocence is guided by love and trust, has no boundaries. But it's upside down. It's upside down for a reason. And we're going to find out why it's upside down for many of you, okay? It's just something that you need to really look at and pay attention to, okay? That's all. Maybe many of you don't see yourself as a universal child, okay? But the God of the universe is trying to bring this to your attention. There's more to you, love. Next, upside down. This is karma cleanse. Oh, I like this one. This is karma cleanse. Liberate yourself from karmic patterns of the past and live a life of creative choices. Okay? Now, I thought about that card that I had earlier was new beginnings. Had this card been upward, I would say many of you, okay, are coming off of that karmic pattern of the past. But many of you are still struggling. But don't worry. I truly believe you won't be struggling too long. Many of you going to come off that merry-go-round. I truly believe that. Okay? And many of you are definitely going to get to that place of learning the lesson, and get off that karmic wheel, okay? That's been having you in limbo. Whether it be relationships, dead end relationship that ain't going nowhere, okay? Whether it be you're not operating in self-love. That's right. Because you're not operating in self-love, what does it have you do? Making wrong, poor choices. That's not for your highest good, okay? Many of you are going to start getting your act together and start putting yourself first and operating in self-love, okay? And definitely putting you first to where you get into that place of forgiveness, and definitely forgiving yourself of those things that you allowed to happen to you over and over, okay? When you could have gotten off the merry-go-round a long time ago. So I see many of you are going to definitely be getting off that merry-go-round, but many of you are still struggling, okay? Many of you are still struggling, and that's okay. It's a process. Now let's start with mind shift. I'm going to read up on this card, okay? Have ears to hear, family. Have ears to hear. All right, family. Let me put all of these in the order that I want them to be in so I can go straight to them. And this one right here is Universal Child. Okay, let's get with it. Have ears to hear, okay? Your experiences are a mirror of the mental patterns in your head and the stories you tell yourself that keeps you trapped in struggles. The Oracle of Mind Shift brings your attention to the dance of the mind, the storytelling of those sad songs that serenade your thoughts to the tune of fear. Peace of mind is at state of non-resistance. Your thoughts shift from worry to ease. You have access to life, inspiration, and natural flow. Fighting against your thoughts takes a lot of energy and creates more of the same struggle you're trying to escape from. You have drawn this card as a reminder to turn the volume down on those old tunes of fear that keeps playing in your head. Release your worries by anchoring your mind in the here and now. So, family, try to learn to be present, okay? Observe your thoughts, let them go, and return to the moment. The dance of your mind can be very entertaining. Observe the performance, but don't get caught in the drama. Observe the performance, but don't get caught up in the drama, which only invites an encore. When we continually sweep the thought from our center stage, we clear space for new pathways of positive thoughts. We lessen the drama and increase the flow of our natural expression, unplug from the illusion of fear. Okay? Now, this card is upward. So many of you, okay, have been working on yourself, and you're finally getting to that place of unplugging from the illusion of fear. Okay? Because many of you, your mind has been doing quite a job on you. All right? So by this card being upward, this is a positive omen. If you're not there yet, you will be. Okay? You will be. Okay. Now this card is upside down. And for many of you, it is upward now because it came out. This card describes the innocence of mind and the magic of a child's heart, the key which opens doors to a multifaceted world and a kaleidoscope of possibilities. You have drawn this card because you are the child of sight, knowing, and trust. The magic child within you has been forgotten. Learn that part of yourself. Do you hear that, family? See, many of you have this gift and don't even know it. It's a spiritual muscle. You got to exercise it. Love the part of yourself. Give her a voice to be heard. Listen to her stories, the innocence of her wisdom. Let her out to play and explore the playground of life. We can often lose sight of our dreams, magic, and wonder when we get set in routine that brings us little joy. Bring the magic of the child into your life. See through child's eyes a different reality in the full spectrum of light. When you love your inner child, she radiates the joy you were born with. This card may bring to your attention the magical children that are around you. Perhaps you are a parent or a grandparent of a beautiful, open hearted angel. See yourself in their deep eyes, oneness, for they show you what you can also awaken in yourself. Perhaps you're the sleeping child who's forgotten her radiance. Now, this card is upside down, so this is many of you, okay? Many of you forgot your radiance. Perhaps you're the sleeping child who's forgotten her radiance of creative expression. Is it safer to sleep through the harshness of the world that has squashed your magic? Time to wake her up or him up. A whole new reality being born through the eyes of the universal child, and we need you to help create it. That's why it's hard for many of you to be real creative. Many of you need to get back to that mind of a child, okay? Because when we were children, all things were possible. Okay? All things were possible. And we felt like we could just take on the whole world, didn't we? We felt like, you know, it's like there were no limits to what you could do as a child. You know, you wanted to be everything and do everything. So, yeah, unleash the inner child within your family. Do some meditation, okay? Lay down, do some meditation, and do some healing work, and go back to that inner child and show that child some love. Hug that child, cry with that child if that child needs healing due to the past issues of trauma, whatever the case may be. But love on that child and see through the eyes of that child that you once were, okay? I'm sure they can teach you many things now. Next, karmic cleanse. And I believe this card was upside down. I'm going to read it again. Liberate yourself from karmic patterns of the past and live a life of creative choices. And many of you are operating in this because I saw the new beginning card. Many of you are moving forward. You're not looking back, okay? But this also speaks about the perspective of, you know, learning the lesson, the karmic lesson, okay, as far as going in circles, continuing those old patterns that didn't serve you, but you keep staying in it for whatever reason. You're not getting off the merry-go-round. It's time for many of you to get off the merry-go-round, okay? But that's a personal choice. That's an individual choice. Karmic patterns in our lives are like knots of fears that have taken deep root over many lifetimes, creating energetic knots that carries the seed of our lesson. Energetic memories of past experiences are stored within our DNA. These karmic imprint continuously or unconsciously holds us to ransom, affecting our perception and interpretation of reality. When we untravel the knots of fear, we release the karmic vibration held within the body and the energy imprints that originated from many lifetimes, including your ancestral lineage, okay? The oracle of karmic cleanse may appear in your reading as a indication that perhaps you are in the process of understanding a karmic relationship or repeated experience that may have result in some unpleasant lesson. The need releasing, healing, and forgiving. often when the lesson is learned, the attraction disappears or the situation just sizzles out, for it is complete. In our wisdom of unveiling karmic knots, or you can say untying, okay? Untying karmic knots, we realize the lesson was the actual attraction, which is why we often say to ourselves in hindsight, I don't know what I ever saw in that person. You simply saw the lesson. So many of you are still in that karmic spell, okay? It didn't say spell, but that's what I call it. That's how it feels, okay? To me, anyway. But many of you are still in that karmic pattern, okay? With you might consider them as your, I don't know what, twin flame, or just someone that it's hard for you to shake them off, shall I say? Well, yeah, there's a lesson that needs to be learned, okay? But once you learn the lesson, pew, bye. Thank you for the lesson. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the lesson. You're out of there. Okay? You're out of there. But maybe you got to build yourself up and get strong and get to that place of putting you first and operating self love. That's all. Okay? And many of you, because I saw it in the beginning, many of you will be getting to that place of moving forward. Okay? Because that card came out. So kudos for you. And for those who are still struggling, it's a process. Okay? But you will get there. Now, the shadow deck, the Divine Shadow Self Oracle. Shout out to Divine Vision. Many of you, you're going to see a lot of those shadow aspects of you when it comes to these 5 cards. Or one. It could be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But many of you are going to resonate with this. Many of you are experiencing these now. Not all of them, but you're definitely going to see something in here that you presently, is part of your character. Let me just say that you haven't healed from, okay? And many of you, you're going to look at this and say, oh yeah, I gotten past that, okay? I've healed from that. So let's see what it is. Abandonment issues. Abandonment issues. I can relate to this. Now, not everybody, but many people who experience this, like in childhood, coming on up, it just depends on what this means to you. Many people can become very controlling. They like to control others as well as their environment that they're in, okay? Or you can find yourself attracting somebody like this to you, okay? Like attract like, shall I say? But many of you have experienced this right here, abandonment issues. And many of you have healed from this, okay? And many of you, the fact that you have experienced abandonment issues is affecting you in your relationships. Truth be told. Many of you are holding a grudge about something or someone. For the most part, it's about someone. I'm not going to say let it go, but I'm going to say let it go. Forgive, release, heal, and let it go. Love. Because see, them grudges could eventually turn into revenge. Sometimes it can turn into revenge. And you will be hurt nobody but yourself. So please, try to get to that place of letting it go. Arrogance. Many of you are operating in arrogance. You have ears, but you hear not. You still ticking off, want to do things your way, and it hasn't served you. Foolish. Come on now. Domineering. I knew it. I knew it. Domineering always follows those who have abandonment issues. And if this is not many of you has a spouse or a partner that's controlling. Just saying. Control freak. And last, jealousy. Who hasn't been here but this would never serve any of us, okay? And sometimes you could be with someone that doesn't really honor you, shall I say, and they can have you feeling like this due to doing little things that can upset you and make you feel this small. All right. Whatever this means to you, many of you are operating in this, and many of you have gotten past this, okay? And it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. And many of you are feeling like this now, but this is very low vibrational. This is very low vibrational, okay? Where there's love, there is no competition. That's what I always say. Let love be your guide, family. And then who knows? Maybe many of you are experiencing this when it comes to other people feeling jealous of you. Thank you, pal number one. I love you. Peace, love, and light to you. Namaste, and bye for now. And get back with me and let me know if this resonates with you. Remember, from today to 3 weeks, okay, or less than 3 weeks, many of you should resonate with this message. I love you. Give me that thumbs up, and bye for now. Hello, 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 pal number two. Thank you for trusting me to do this reading for you. I really do appreciate it. If this message relates to me, resonate with many of you, give your sister a thumb up, okay? I really appreciate it. This will help many others who happen to cross path, this video reading. And I always say sharing is caring, okay? So let's get with this reading. Hello. None of this is in divine order, okay? Many of this messages you're going to relate. I'm sure many of you will relate in the now. And like I said, this is called divine message, 3 weeks from today, okay? So a lot of this many of you are going to resonate with, and a lot of you, give or take, it would be within less than 3 weeks, okay? So let's get with it. I have 4 of the shadow, divine self shadow oracle. I have 4 cards for you, okay? Because we all have those shadow aspects of us. Many of us are working on them, okay, to heal and release them, and many of us are still dealing with them, okay? And I have 3 of the rainbow oracle deck for my love loves, and I have 3 of the psychic tarot deck messages, and lastly, my awakened butterfly reading. That's right, revealing oracle. So let's start off with this one, okay? And none of this is in divine order. It has here girlfriend. Now this may pertain to my sisters out here. It can be a friend girl, or it can be more than a friend girl, if you know what I mean, okay? It's whatever this means to you. Maybe a girlfriend is on many of your minds, okay? That friend, that ride or die chick, okay? So it's whatever this means to many of you. But anyway, it has here girlfriend. Something about girlfriend. Next, female, child, teen, baby. So many of you, allegedly, has a female child that's either a baby or a teen. Okay? And if this is the case, hit me up down below. All right? Let your sister know whether this readings are resonate with many of you. Okay? But something about a female child, female teen, female baby. Okay? The head disruption, power struggle, and conflict. Now, it's interesting. This came out in pile number 1. I'm going to break this down real quick. Now, the head disruption can really be many of you because, um, this is a collective reading, okay? So the head of disruption can be many of you, okay? That I was watching this video, or it can be whomever that you live with that's running the show, like that parent, or it can be that spouse, It's just pretty much, who is over you. And I gave you some examples: a parent, or a lover, or a spouse. But a lot of times I think about the alpha male, okay? Now, many of you have a roommate, okay? That person can be considered as the head. But for the most part, the head would be you, family, okay? Now, I'm through with that. The head disruption, power struggle, and conflict. Many of you are experiencing a disruption in your life due to creating conflict. And a lot of times due to your thinking, okay? Our thoughts, then our actions follows from there. But it's something that many of you are doing that's causing a disruption in your life. It's disturbing your peace big time. It's definitely, disturbing your finances. I don't know how many of you are spending, but you're probably doing too much spending and less saving, okay? Let me just say that it's not balanced. You're doing more spending than saving. That can disrupt your, foundation as well, okay? Or it can be something that many of you doing. Many of you could be operating in self sabotage. To where you're putting others ahead than yourself. And nothing wrong with that, but there must be balance. Okay, it must be balance. You must make sure you're good. Okay, make sure that you have a peace of mind. Okay, on the inside. Okay, now don't just get to where you just give, and then you're depleted with energy. You have nothing to give to yourself. You done tapped out. Maybe you are a giver and you just give to where you tapped out. Okay? Watch what you're doing now, because I'm seeing head disruption showing in many of you your readings, okay? And if this is not you, it's whoever that you live with. It can be that parent, or that person that you live with for the most part, that spouse or that significant other that you're living with. Okay, head disruption, shaking the money foundation, or it can be your peace of mind, which creating what? Power struggles and conflict. If many of you are not experiencing this now, the coming days and weeks ahead, remember this right here. Keep this in mind. Pay attention to how you're moving, how you're thinking out here. Next, this came out upside down. This is emotional withdrawal. This is someone that has been through a horrific ordeal. It can be due to a loss of a loved one that could have transitioned. It just depends on who this means to you. It can be due to a breakup. Okay? This can be, representing period, just moving away from whatever it is, who or whatever it is that's bothering you. Okay? This is emotional withdrawal. This is someone who's backing off. Okay? They're backing off due to feeling hurt. Okay? They're backing off due to feeling hurt by a situation with someone. Okay? And they just want to be to themselves. So, due to the fact that this is a collective reading, many of you are experiencing this right now. Okay? You're experiencing an emotional withdrawal. Now, this card came out upside down. Many of you are coming out of this, okay? You're coming out of isolation, being alone, and you're starting to, get your jush back, get your jush. That's what I call it, your jush. But anyway, I'm going to say it like this. Many of you are getting to where, that which was once bothering you is not bothering you as bad as it once was. And you're coming out of this withdrawal stage, okay? Due to emotional loss. You still might be going through the motion as far as whatever it is that was bothering you, but it doesn't have you like this, okay? To where you're isolating yourself and you just don't want to be bothered with, okay? And a lot of times, a person like this just want time to think. They got a lot on their mind and they need time to think, due to a mental overload of a lot of emotions, okay? It just depends on what this means to you, family. But many of you are coming out of that, okay? And also, I think about the word empty. That's someone who feels hopeless, they're feeling a sense of despair. I think about that too. That's popping up in my spirit as well, okay? But many of you are coming out of that. Many of you are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Next, I can't make this up. Thank you, Spirit. This is solitude, okay? And many of you were on the inside introverted, shall I say. And many of you were on the inside, you didn't want to be bothered with, you alone. Because this represents being alone and you were inside, okay? Many of you are coming outside. You're coming out of those four walls, okay? You're coming out of those four walls. So this represents solitude, but you're coming out of solitude, okay? And that was confirmation right there. Right here, this is patient and planning. So many of you, okay, because this is a collective reading, many of you are being very patient. It looks like it's something that you want, okay? It might be something that many of you really, really want. But anyway, this is many of you being very patient and you are planning your next move, okay? Or maybe you're planning that next project. But whatever this means to many of you, you're being very patient right now and you are planning, okay? Whether it's personal or business. But you're definitely planning your next move. You're being very patient. And if you're not there, you will be. Because many of you probably impatient, okay? But many of you, you're operating and being patient. I'm going to show you each card and then I'm going to read up on them, okay? This is heart magic. Paint your world from your heart. It's the magic wand of the universe. And it's upward, so that's good. Many of you are operating in that. This is upside down. It's upside down for a reason. It's just something that you need to look at. That's all, okay? Celebrate. Many of you are not in a celebrating mood, okay? Many of you are not in a celebrating mood, and that's okay. The energy of excitement is in the air. Good news, announcements, and celebration brings unity and gratitude. Do you hear that? Now, for a small select of you, because it came out, period, you will be experiencing this and you will be feeling this mood or this need to celebrate, okay? I'm going to read it again. The energy of excitement is in the air. Good news. Announcement. Whether it's a birth announcement, many of you might be expecting or graduating. And celebration brings unity and gratitude. It's a small select of you, because this is a collective reading that's in this celebrating mood. But you know what? For a lot of people, they are not in a celebrating mood during the holidays. You know why? Because they think about their loved ones who are no longer here. That grandmother, that mother, or that child that they could have lost. Many of you are not in a celebrating mood at all. And that's okay. Own it. You feel however you feel, okay? I always say just be and don't put no and don't, wear no mask. You feel however you feel. All right? It's okay. Next, divine. Hold on. Did I show you this card? I didn't show it to you. Hold on. But it came out upside down, okay? Next, divine masculine. Now, when it comes to these oracle cards, there's really no, um, you know, male and female. Okay, when it comes to these cards, but this says divine masculine, so I'm going to just own it. Okay, it came out divine masculine. It is what it is. Okay, it's really about balancing the masculine. Okay, when it comes to male and female, it's about balancing it. The full of your potential emerges when you embrace your masculine energy through the heart of your inner feminine. Okay? Now, real quick, I think about, how some males, when they are not balancing their full masculine, they can be off due to operating more in that feminine energy. And there's nothing wrong with operating in that feminine energy, but it must be balanced. That's all. And it can go the same way when it comes to the feminine. Sometimes the feminine has a lot of that, divine male masculine energy, and it's not balanced. Okay, but don't worry. It has additional meaning, and I'm going to read up on this. All right, it came out for a reason, and actually, divine masculine is a good thing because when it comes to the feminine, the divine masculine supports the divine feminine in all the ways that matter. Okay, he's attentive to her. He listens. Okay, he supports her in all the ways that matter. So from that perspective, if you happen to be a male and watching, yeah. And this is a collective reading, but many of you are operating as a divine masculine. All right, family. I decided just to read up on two. Okay, I'm gonna read up on the heart magic. Have ears to hear, because this card did come up. It came out upward. Okay, the universe is a cosmic ocean of energy, and we are all swimming in it. We are not separated from what it is we want, for it's all part of the same ocean. This card reminds you that true miracles are felt in the heart. Every stroke we paint on the canvas of our mind must be felt in the magic of our hearts. And you know what I think about family? I think about, when it comes to things that you want, let it be something that's a part of your passion. Because when we are operating from our passion, something that we love, oh, we can never go wrong. We can never go wrong when we're operating from a place of our passion. Okay? And definitely your gifts. But anyway, let me continue. Must be felt in the magic of our hearts for our creation to fully come into being. The brain is a polarized tool, so your thought swims in the pool of polarity, often creating polarized results. When we engage our heart in this cosmic mix, we swim in the clear waters of perfect creation, no polarity. When we bring intention into our hearts, it flows in the ocean of abundance. We feel it. We become a part of it. The excitement, the glorious colors your heart is painting, the world you're creating, reshaping, building, and defining. Your heart has intelligence. It's the master co creator of your manifestation world, a magic wand of unconditional love that can paint your intentions from the canvas of your mind through the gateway of your heart, the cosmic birth canal of all creation. Wow, that is beautiful. That's a beautiful message. Paint your world from your heart. It's the magic wand of the universe. This card reminds you that true miracles are felt in the heart. You hear that? So I think about operating your passion more than anything. Many of you are on jobs and you're making good money. You're surviving, but you're not happy. All you can say is, oh, yeah, I make good money, but you're not happy. Many of you are doing things that, you're not even passionate about. But many of you are operating in your passion because that card came out upward. And that's a wonderful thing. Keep doing that because that's where you're going to find your true happiness. It's operating in what you love to do because it's in your heart. And I'm not going to read up on this. This is self explanatory, okay? Many of you are not in a celebrating mood at this time. But many of you, there are, events that are coming up and you will be in that celebrating mood, okay? I'm sure there are some announcements that many of you might end up making to where you're going to feel like celebrating. And many of you are not. Next, the divine masculine. The battle of the sex is the battle within ourselves. Your relationship with the inner masculine and feminine, mirror itself through all your relationships. Perhaps it's time to take action and move forward with purpose and direction. Look at where you're allowing others to control you or take your power. If you're in the passenger seat of your own life, who's driving? This card encourages you to take hold of the wheel and steer your way through the strength and courage of your heart. Masculine energy moves in straight lines with a driving force of action and determination. When our masculine is wounded or misunderstood, we lose our motivation, drive, and purpose and may look for strength in others. The message here is to respect your own voice, life, and choices. For true masculine power is in the ownership of what he has created. Taking responsibility buckles you up in the driver's seat of what? Of your own life direction. So pretty much get your power back. And many of you are getting your power back, okay? Many of you are operating in this. You're getting your power back. Many of you are now getting in the driver's seat and you're taking the wheel and you're not like in the back seat, okay? Shall I say? And there's a small select few of you, okay? I'm sure you're not operating in that. But the fact this came out upward, I'm going to own it. Many of you, if you are like this, I truly feel like you're watching me for a reason. I'm giving you something to think about. Many of you are going to start getting your power back, and you're going to start getting in the driver's seat and take control back of your own life. The Divine Shadow Self Oracle. These energies are pretty much those shadow aspects that we all have due to not facing our worst fears, due to not facing our issues or our demons, okay? It's pretty much what this means to you. And many of you have overcome these shadow aspects. And some of these shadow aspects can be what's going on around you that could be influencing you. Let's get with it. Drowning. Many of you are drowning in your emotion due to being, or shall I say, being upset or feeling overwhelmed, feeling very emotional. And a lot of you, I can understand if you're feeling very emotional around this time. A lot of people feel very emotional around this time during the holidays, okay? Many of you are drowning in your emotions, okay? You're very emotional for whatever reason. Defensive. Many of you are feeling very defensive. And I don't know if this is due to accusations or somebody accusing you of wrongdoing. Or maybe you're accusing somebody of wrongdoing. Okay? But defensive is coming out. Rejection. Wow. Many of you are experiencing this. Rejection. And you know what I think about? When I see that word rejection, this is what I think about. Hold on. Emotional withdrawal. A lot of time when people experience this right here, they balled up like this. You don't want to be bothered. You know what I mean? Many of you are experiencing this. And I'm praying that you won't be experiencing this in the coming days and weeks ahead. Time will tell. It just depends on what this means to you. Maybe many of you are going to be rejecting somebody that may want your time and attention. Or this could be you being rejected. I don't wish this on nobody, okay? And destruction. There doesn't have to be a negative omen, but destruction is destruction, okay? This can be just due to how many of you are moving out here. You know, sudden destruction due to a argument. Sudden destruction due to a fight. A verbal fight, hopefully. You know, sudden destruction due to power and struggle, just depending on what this means to many of you, okay? So be careful out here. Watch how you're moving out here, okay? I love you. I speak life over many of you. I thank you for trusting me to do this reading for you. And if this has resonated at all with many of you, please let me know down below. I would love to hear All right. And remember, I wasn't saying all of these many of you are experiencing. This is a collective reading, but many of you can relate to one or two or maybe all of them. Okay. And as I stated, this is a divine, message. I call this 3 weeks from today. So many of you are overcoming a lot of these shadow aspects. Okay. I'm sure you had a very destructive life. Okay. Just depending on what that means to you. Some people have actually had it hard in life, but they're overcoming those obstacles. So peace and love to you. I wish you all the best. Give me that thumbs up. So how do they say pass the torch? Sharing is caring to help somebody else so this video can get out there and help others, okay? Bye, family. Hey, pal number 3. Hey, family. Thank you for trusting me to do this reading for you. Please know there are no coincidences, even though this is a collective reading. Remember the heading, divine message, 3 weeks from today. So a lot of this many of you are going to be resonating with. And remember, you got the coming days and weeks ahead. So a lot of this is going to start to unfold in your life. Please know that. Please hit me up down below and commune with your sister. Don't be scared. Hit me up down below and let me know whether this reading has resonated with you, and keep me updated within the coming days and weeks ahead as far as anything that has manifest that you actually was like, I don't know about that, and it actually came to pass. So yeah, or you actually receive revelation. Now you understand what that message was saying. Okay, sometimes it takes a couple of times to watch and let things play out, and then it hits you. Oh my gosh, she said that. So anyway, it's about you trusting your intuition, okay, family? So remember, I told you to pick from 1 to 2 to 3. Now, if you feel like this doesn't resonate with you, you might need to watch 1 or 2. Okay? But please know there is a message for you, because God, the universe, already knew you was going to, watch my videos now. So, yes, indeed, there is a message for you. I just wanted many of you to start operating use your own intuition, okay? Because it's that spiritual muscle. We all have it. So let's get with this pile number 3. And actually, pile number 3, I'm using more cards for you, okay? You're my last. You're my last. I'm going to be using my Awakened Butterfly Revealing Oracle on you. And I was using for pile 1 and 2, I was using only 3 cards. For you, pile 3, I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a collective reading, but many of you are going to resonate with these messages, okay? I'm also using the Psychic Tarot deck for pile 1 and 2. I use only 3. For you, 1, 2, 3, 4 I'm going to be using. The Rainbow Oracle, I'm going to use the 3. Okay, I'm going to use 3. And lastly, I'm going to be using the Divine Shadow Self Oracle. Shout out to Divine Vision. And this will give me an idea of those shadow aspects that's going on with many of you. You may not resonate with all of them, but 1, 2, or 3, or a couple of them, many of you are presently, this is your characteristic right now, okay? And the Divine Shadow Self Oracle, reveal those hidden things about all of us, okay? When it comes to, you're putting a band-aid on your issues, okay? You're not facing your worst fears, or shall I say, those demons, all right, that needs healing, okay? So anyway, and also this will also give me an idea about anyone that's around you, that you look at close to you, that's affecting you in a negative way, okay? I would get it here. So you would know when that certain word will come across the screen. You would know whether it's talking about you. This could be something you're presently experiencing, or you have overcame it. That means you've been putting the work in and you have healed from it. Okay? So let's get started with this reading. When it comes to me using the Awakened Butterfly Revealing Oracle for my collective, selling out, lack integrity, not using power or talents for the highest good of others. Now I'm going to let this sit here. It speaks for itself. This is a collective reading, okay? A sellout is a sellout. Meet on social media site. So many of you are looking for love, okay? Many of you are on social media, probably on these dating sites, or it could be Facebook. All right, many of you probably, inboxing somebody. But yeah, meet on social media site. Now, let me say something real quick. When I think about this right here, not using power or talents, I think about the word talents. It depends on whatever this means to many of you, okay? 'Cause it also says sell out. Now, many of you are not using your talents for the highest good, okay? So, for this to come out, it's something to think about now, okay? It's something to think about, like the spirit saying, okay, because the spirit realm see everything that's going on this side, okay? So like I know when it comes to our talents, we are to use it for the good and to do the right thing and do right by people when it comes to our talents. Don't try to take from people. I'm just giving you some examples. Overcharge your work. When it comes to your talents, um, you're pretty much being destructive with it. All right, you're being very destructive with it, and you're not using it for one's highest good. That's what I think about when it comes to power. You could be abusing your power. You could you could have a management position or a supervisor position. Okay, you know you. Okay, I think about abuse of power when I see this right here. So maybe men, you can resonate with this because maybe you are experiencing this on the job. If you have a manager or a supervisor that you feel that's nitpicking you or abusing their power, it just depends on what this means to you, love. Okay. And once again, me on social media. So many of you are definitely on social media or on these dating sites. Next, I want them to leave me alone dealing with harassment and assault. So many of you are definitely experiencing this as well, okay? I want them to leave me alone dealing with harassment and assault. So that can be personal when it comes to the relationships that many of you are in. It could be an ex, shall I say. It could be that friend that has become a foe and y'all are, tit for tat back and forth. It just depends on what it means to you, okay? But anyway, if you're not presently experiencing that, many of you probably will be in the coming days and weeks ahead, all right? Someone is doing a favor for the other, partnership alliance. So it looks like many of you are going to be forming an alliance with someone. It can be personal, it can be a platonic relationship or it can be business. Maybe thinking about, forming an alliance with someone when it comes to a business or a project. Okay? It says someone is doing a favor for the other. And maybe somebody might be doing a favor for many of you. Okay? As I stated, forming some form of partnership. Whatever this means to you, you did see it here. Okay? It speaks about partnership and alliance. Hmm. Boyfriend. So this means something to somebody. Okay, male or female. This means something to somebody. Maybe a boyfriend is on many of your minds, or maybe you want a boyfriend. Okay, you're lonely. Hello, somebody. It just depends on what this means to you. Okay. Had a fight with their spouse. Now, I don't wish any of you in the coming days and weeks ahead to be dealing with conflict and power struggle with a significant other or a spouse. But, life happens. So, anyway, many of you probably in the present have been experiencing this, okay? Or it could be maybe a past event, maybe last week or this week. But anyway, had a fight with their spouse. Now, let's keep it moving. None of these are in divine order, okay? The first card, it came out this way. Balance. There must be balance mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Many of you are operating in balance, and that's a good thing. If you're not, you will be, okay? Because many of you are going to start bringing balance to your life, okay? If you were once operating like this, you want to get back on track and bring balance to your life. So many of you are operating balance. Universal. This card right here represents completion and fulfillment. So many of you are feeling very fulfilling in your life, okay? Many of you are experiencing a sense of completion. It just depends on what this means to you, family. It depends on what this means to you. Now I'm going to read up on this card, and actually, I don't think I ever read up on this card before. If I have, it's been a while, but it has additional meaning, and I want many of you to get the full meaning of this card. It came out upward, but it represents completion and fulfillment, and I'm going to read up on it. Okay. So have ears to hear. It's a positive omen, period. Okay. Hold up. You've come far on your journey, and it's time to be rewarded for your efforts. This card symbolizes completion, triumph, peace, liberation, and fulfillment. Everything you've strived for is within your reach. Meet it halfway and grab it. The universe is the last of the major arcana cards and reflects the work that you've accomplished on your travels. So the way I look at it, no matter what many of you are experiencing, even if many of you are still experiencing some struggles, okay, it looks like you're going to overcome it, okay? Just continue to take baby steps, take one day at a time, all right? The main thing, make an effort. But many of you are going to get to this place right here, okay? Everything you strive for is within your reach. Meet it halfway and grab it. The universe is the last of the major arcana cards and reflects the work that you've accomplished on your travels. But more importantly, it represents the wisdom that you've gained along the way. You should now honor and acknowledge the truly wonderful soul that you are and accept the vital part that you play in the bigger scheme of life. The world is yours to command, and you're free to travel in whatever direction your heart desires. You're connected to everything in the cosmos. The universe card is a reminder that the same energy making up the stars in the sky, the same energy that's coursing through the universe, is in reach in every individual. Is in reach in every individual. So you hear that. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit, family. Completion and fulfillment. Next, the third eye chakra. That's right. If you're watching me, you're spiritual anyway, okay? And if you wasn't spiritual before, many of you are going to, I'm sure you're going, many of you already had a spiritual awakening. If you haven't, you will be soon. It's a personal. It's very personal, okay? It happens to everyone in different stages in their life. But anyway, if you're watching me, you are spiritual. This is the third eye chakra, and it represents I see, okay? But I don't look at it from the perspective of you see with your two eyes. Many of you are seeing with your spiritual sight. So many of you are gifted. I don't know if been shunned away from it, you're in denial, but many of you do have the gift. You've been able to see within yourself. You have visions. But also this represents many of you having a aha moment. If you were blind to a situation, if you were in the dark about something, many of you are saying now, I see. It's like you're having an aha moment. Okay? So for the collective, many of you are having an aha moment. You're starting to see now that which you weren't able to see before. Okay? it's like the clouds is being removed, and you can now see what was behind the clouds. And it can be a personal thing. It can be due to a relationship. You could be in the dark about something, but hello, revelation. That which you wasn't seeing before, you're seeing it now, and you're really seeing it if you come out, stop being in denial. Just saying. Next is upside down. For many of you, this is recognition and reward. There's a small select few of you, because this is a collective reading. You are being acknowledged. This says recognition and reward. You are being acknowledged and you're being recognized, okay? All eyes are on you. Um, the hard work that many of you have been putting in on the job, let me just say that you are being rewarded. So many of you might receive a pay raise, a promotion, okay? Or this could be pertaining to a relationship. Maybe your partner is starting to acknowledge you, okay? After you don't put your foot down, okay? Just saying. But this is you being acknowledged and recognized. A small select few of you. Many of you are being overlooked, whether it's your relationships or business. It can be pertaining to that job. You're working hard and you feel like your boss or your supervisor is overlooking you and they're not paying you your worth. Okay, you're not being rewarded. You're not making enough money on this freaking job that you've been busting your butt 7 to 3:30, 9 to 5. Wherever that time span is for you. But many of you are feeling overlooked. Many of you are not feeling acknowledged at all, nor rewarded. It can be personal or it can be business related or pertaining to a job. But just know this shall too pass. It's just temporary. What you're going through, keep that in mind. Next. Now this card came out. I forgot for which group, but this came out already before. This is Universal Child. It says, within the eyes of a child, there's a universe where innocence is guided by love and trust, has no boundaries. And it came out upward. And I'm not going to read up on this card. I'm going to explain to you what this card is saying, okay? Because it came out upward. And I've already read up on it before. But to break it down, this card speaks about the inner child that we have all been, okay? And remember when you were a child, all things were possible. You felt so creative and you felt like you could move mountains, okay? Because many of you might have a little block when it comes to your creativity. The spirit is saying go back to that childlike state, okay? I would suggest many of you to meditate and see yourself as a child and go back to where you felt so creative, okay? Because when you're creative, you're very high vibrational. It's hard to create when you're low vibrational, okay? You must be really in a positive state of mind and being. So many of you, I think this card came out upside down. I can't remember, family, okay? I lost train of thought and I apologize. But many of you, okay, you are operating in this. You're feeling, full of ideas. You're feeling very passionate. And many of you are very creative, okay? It's like you're tapping into that inner child. But many of you need to go back to that childlike state. It will help you tremendously. And let me tell you another thing. Many of you have blockage. That's why it's hard for you to create. Okay? This popped up in my spirit. When it comes to childhood wounds, abandonment issues, you'd be surprised how all of that can affect you. I'm serious. It can really affect you and it can cause stagnation in that area. You want that area, that channel open. You don't want stagnation, okay? You want that channel in your life, that energy channel to be open to where it's flowing, because energy needs to flow. Okay, energy needs to flow naturally. It can't be rushed. It needs to flow naturally. So many of you need to go back and tap into that childlike state. I would suggest you meditate, close your eyes, visualize yourself as a child. And if that child is crying, hug that child, love that child, okay? And see through the eyes of you when you were happy. And remember all the things that you used to do that used to inspire you as a child. Those things that you used to love to do. You'd be surprised how this will help you in your adulthood because you're not carrying that emotional baggage no more from a child. It will help you to get back to that place of being creative, okay? It will really inspire many of you, all right? Because many of you are not feeling that inspired at all. Because I truly believe it's due to that childhood wound that needs healing, okay? That's all I want to say. And you know what that means for you. Next, upside down. This is mind shift. Struggles dance to the tune of the mind. Ease flow with the tune of the heart. And I read up on this card too. I'm only going to pick. I'm only going to pick one. I'm going to read up on, and it's going to be this one, okay? Because it has additional meaning, and I want many of you to receive clarity. Next, the lovers. So many of you are in relationships, hello, or many of you want to be in a relationship. But by this card being upward, there's harmony in many of your unions, whether you are married or you're just in a relationship, okay? Romance is blossoming. Let go of fear. Open your heart to receive the gift of new or rekindled love. And who knows, many of you might end up getting that call from that ex. And let me say this, we all have free will. But if that ex called you and that person caused you nothing but pain, and that person did not honor you nor respect you, please don't talk to them. Ignore the phone call. But it's all about you loving yourself and know you deserve better so you can be open to receive, hello, what this is talking about. Romance is blossoming. Let go of fear. Open your heart to receive the gift of new or rekindled love. All right. It just depends on what this means to many of you. But anyway, yeah, this talking about the lovers, whether you are married or in a current relationship, and then who knows, maybe many of you might end up meeting somebody from now to 3 weeks, or it can be their ex calling. Who knows? But anyway, you do what's best for you. But this is the lovers card, okay? So I'm going to read up on mind shift real quick.
I can't scissors.
All right, family. I sat here and I thought about it. I'm going to read two for you. I'm going to read the mind shift and I'm going to read the lovers, okay? I don't want to leave many of you hanging because this card has additional meaning, okay? All right, the mind shift. Let's get with it. Struggle dance to the tune of the mind, ease flow with the tune of the heart. Your experience are a mirror of mental patterns in your head and the stories you tell yourself that keeps you trapped in struggles. To the dance of the mind, the storytelling and those sad songs that serenades your thoughts to the tune of fear. Peace of mind is a state of non resistance. Your thoughts shift from worry to ease. You have access to life inspiration and natural flow. Fighting against your thoughts take a lot of energy and create more of the same struggle you're trying to escape from. You have drawn this card as a reminder to turn the volume down on those old tunes of fear that keeps playing in your head. Release your worry by anchoring your mind in the here and now. So maybe you need to stay present, okay? You're too busy worrying about tomorrow. You're too busy worrying about, next week and all of that. Many of you need to stay present, okay? Release your worries by anchoring your mind in the here and now. Observe your thoughts, let them go, and return to the moment. The dance of your mind can be very entertaining. Observe the performance, but don't get caught up in the drama. Do you hear that? The dance of the mind can be very entertaining. Observe the performance, but don't get caught up in the drama. which only invites an encore. When we continually sweep the thoughts from our center stage, we clear space for new pathways of positive thoughts. We lessen the drama and increase the flow of our natural expression, unplug from the illusion of fear. And that's so important, family, because when you're constantly operating in fear based thoughts, you're going to create more of what you don't want. Okay? Try to see yourself try to see yourself out of the situation victoriously, not constantly, you know, you're still caught up in it mentally, okay? Because that's like a mental conflict. You're struggling with something. It's hard for you to shake it off and let it go, okay? See yourself outside of it victoriously, okay? Now, I felt the need to read this. This is the lovers, okay? Have ears to hear. Romance is blossoming. Let go of fear. Open your heart to receive the gift of love or rekindled love. A flirtatious attraction may lighten your soul and stir your heart, whether you're longing for love, healing love, or being loved. This card signifies new or rekindled love may be on its way to you. Perhaps someone special has triggered feelings you thought were long buried. The overflow of the heart is an open invite for romance and affection. It can manifest as self love when we desire to honor and deepen the relationship within ourselves, or it can invite reconciliation, reunion, or the deepening of a existing connection. So many of you, for whatever reason, due to pain, and this is a small few, okay? Because this is a collective reading. But many of you have pretty much hardened your heart and you have blocked it due to pain and you don't want to be hurt no more, okay? But I always say to feel is to heal, all right? And many of you deserve to be happy, but you have to believe that about yourself. You have to say, you know what? I'm enough. I love myself and I deserve to be happy, okay? You have to speak it, family, and open your heart so someone new can enter in, okay? And come out of that fear-based way of thinking that nobody is out there for you. Somebody is out there for you. It's somebody for everybody, okay? But you must open your heart. Love can often lead us on the shorelines, dripping our toes, testing the waters, and wondering if we are ready to go for that swim. In your fears, you may think I might drown or swim so far out that I may never return. Calm your fears, for it is not love that drowns you. It's the killer wave of emotion that can paralyze you from ever opening your heart. So embrace the wave, ride the emotion, and enjoy in the sensation of what love may bring. Become the love you seek. Do you hear that? Become the love that you seek, and it will find you. That means many of you who are still seeking, who are still desiring a relationship, a loving relationship, it starts with you and it ends with you. Many of you need to open your heart, but not only open your heart, it starts with you. Love yourself, honor yourself, respect yourself, okay? And you're going to attract that to you, okay? The love that you have for you, you're going to see it in someone who loves you the way you love yourself, family. And many of you are already in relationships like this. So kudos for you. I'm happy for you. Okay? Many of you are in that place of waiting and being still. Or shall I say seeking a lover. And that's good because you finally opening your heart. Be patient. What's for you is for you. All right, pal. Number 3. Now the divine shadow self. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am not saying all 9 of these. Many of you have these issues. This is a collective reading, but many of you will be able to resonate with a few of these cards, okay? Because we all have issues. It's really a matter of facing them, owning it, heal, release, and putting it past us, okay? But many of you are still struggling. And many of you are dealing with someone that's affecting you in a negative way, okay? And this right here is coming out. Lustful. Many of you, and this is a non-judging zone, okay? Many of you, um, let me just say, may have more than one sexual partner, okay? Many of you in this area, you're struggling. Um, it's hard for you to control the flesh. Okay, you want what you want, whether you are in love or not. Okay, whether you are in love or not. Many of you got that black book. Hello, somebody. Many of you got that black book. You know what I'm talking about. You calling that ex. You calling whoever or whatever. But you want to fulfill that desire. Okay, because you don't operate in self control. So anyway, this is coming out for many of you. Okay, not all of you. Take that which resonate. You know you, and many of you have gotten past it. You have healed from this. Okay, many of you are operating in self control. Hostility. Many of you are experiencing hostility for whatever reason. If you're not experiencing this now, in the coming days and weeks ahead, you probably will. Okay, or maybe many of you are not operating in this anymore because you've gotten past this. You have overcame this right here. Okay, or maybe somebody around you that's close to you that's affecting you because they're full of hostility. Callous. This is someone who's showing no emotion. Okay, I always say this is a cold individual. Okay. Maybe many of you are dealing with someone close to you that's a cold individual. Okay, you're talking to them, and they hear you, they don't hear you. They coming out very cold. Insensitive. It just depends on what this means to many of you. Okay, so this is callous, showing no emotion, and maybe many of you are numb. Due to whatever that you are going through. Okay, I just said that. Numbness. Now, let me tell you, when I think about numbness, I think about many of you who could be experiencing a trauma in your life. Okay, it could be a past energy, and God forbid, I pray that many of you won't be experiencing this in the coming days and weeks. But I think about those shadow aspects of us that are very painful that we don't want to, you know, revisit. Okay, we don't want to revisit because that pain is very crucial. So many people, they want to numb it. They want to drink, put a band aid on it, or smoke weed, pop some pills. Okay, it's whatever that you do to numb the pain. Okay, maybe many of you, you want to numb it by, getting that black book and calling somebody up. Okay, because we did see the word lustful. It's what this means to you. It represents numbing, emotionally numbing yourself, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or any other kind of form of addiction. Okay, it could be a present shadow aspects of many of you, or maybe many of you have gotten past it. Okay, but you know your situation. Helpless. Many of you, for whatever reason, you're feeling very helpless right now. It can be due to something, feeling helpless about, something going on in your life to where you're feeling, you're not exercising your power. Maybe dealing with a control freak in your life. Okay. It just depends what this means to you, family. Okay. It can be personal or business related. But when I think about helpless, I think about this being personal. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna let this sit here. If you're not presently experiencing this is a collective reading. Many of you will be feeling like this for whatever reason. Helpless. Maybe your money's funny. I don't know. Helpless. Maybe you're dealing with harassment. I don't know. This is a collective reading. Maybe you're in a loveless marriage or in a relationship. They ain't going nowhere. You feel stuck. You want a way out. You can't see a way out. Maybe you're dealing with abuse. Helpless. Envy. I'm gonna let that sit there. It speaks for itself. This is very low vibration, okay? I would suggest many of you to get your thoughts and minds off of others and focus on yourself, okay? But that's a personal problem, and it's not really for me to tell you. I'm just sharing the message, okay? And who knows? Maybe somebody around you that's envying you. You would know. That's envious of you. That's what I meant to say. Explosive. Like many of you are gonna be dealing with some type of, conflict in the coming days and weeks ahead. Watch your emotions now. Many of you gonna be going from 1 to 10, and this could be personal, at home, your relationships, or it can be business or on that job. So just keep this in mind. It's not my wish that you would go from 1 to 10, go off on somebody, but explosive is explosive. Okay? So be on the lookout for this. Explosive. Flighty. Flighty. Yep. Many of you are easy to get upset. Many of you have overcame this right here, okay? You have overcome your mental, okay, everything's mental, okay, then our emotions. So many of you have really overcame this and you're able to control it. But many of you are still dealing with this, okay? You're easily to get upset and go from 1 to 10. Pop off. So be on the lookout for this. Try to control your emotions, okay? Not be so flighty. Not be so easily to get upset. Not be so easy to ready to go off on somebody and start fighting. For the most part, probably verbal. And lastly, antagonists. I let that sit there, okay? This could be many of you of your past energy, you overcame it, and many of you are probably still presently experiencing this, okay? Or maybe someone around you is carrying this, is carrying this right here. This kind of, negative energy, okay? Being an antagonist. Especially when it comes to a spouse or a mate, okay? Someone is very hostile, okay? Someone very hostile. So anyway, I love you, family. This is a non-judging zone. I don't expect all of you to resonate with this, but if it's not you, it can be someone close to you, okay, that can be having these characteristics about them. And when I mean close, I mean like someone your inner circle, all right? That friend, that husband, or that lover, that platonic friend. You know what I'm going with this. That could be affecting you in a negative way. Or maybe it's their energy. They're coming off that way. So anyway, I love you, family. Give us a like if you appreciate it, if you resonate with it. And please know, a lot of this, if you haven't resonated with majority of it, the coming days and weeks ahead is very crucial. So this is the holidays. So many people are, in this celebrating mood, this feel good mood, and many people are not. Okay, many people have loved ones that are no longer here, and they don't feel like celebrating, and that could be many of you. So be mindful and considerate of others out here, family, because everybody don't have that grandmother around anymore. Everybody don't have that mother, or that father around anymore. Or that best friend, or that spouse who's no longer around, or even that ex. You could have had a breakup and you're not in a celebrating mood. So just be mindful of others. But other than that, continue, if you are in a celebrating mood, continue to be happy, okay? But still think about others who are going through it, all right? Because it's hard for a lot of people during this time, during the holidays. So I love you. Hit that like button to push the accurate rhythm out there. Sharing is caring. So this can help others, okay? Because this is a collective reading. And if this reading didn't resonate with any of you, there is Pal 1 and Pal 2. One of them will. Please know that. Because the God of the universe already knew that you was going to watch me. already knew. So one of these messages definitely resonate with you. You chose this pile, and I pray that you was right. Okay, that spiritual muscle just have to be exercised. So thank you for being my butterflies. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.